Hey everybody, how you doing? So after quite a fascinating few hours, not a few really, Facebook is kind of back. And I say that because, well, let's take a look at it using my homepage and I will show you. This is Facebook, right? And it looks like it's back, but you can't see at the top. It's actually buffering. And this page, I tried to open it a few minutes ago, a minute, and it's still, you can see the little dot going back and forth, buffering. And then if I refresh like this, okay, uh, it's still, see, it goes and then it's coming back. All right. So it's coming back. And then if I try to go to my home page, it doesn't move immediately. It's still slow, and it may be a reflection of the number of people that are trying to get back at once. I'm not sure. But the bottom line is I don't see that it's moving. So it's not quite back. All right. And the main question is what happened? Well, we don't have an explanation here from Facebook. We can go to Twitter and look for one, because there have been a number of explanations, and including mine, uh, based on what I read, and then other people offering takes on what you and I were told that were, oh, well, that's not really true and all that stuff, okay? And but they're not telling us what was true, right? So no one seemed to really know much of anything. Like, for example, this reports right here that Facebook is back online out of outage on Monday, but it's not totally online. I mean, I can use Facebook Messenger, but I don't recall reading that Facebook Messenger was the problem. I haven't tried Instagram yet. Let's give Instagram the old, college try. Here's Instagram. Instagram is back. All right. Instagram is back, it would seem. So let's click on my friend. Instagram is back. Okay. So Instagram is back. And my friend Tracy Ham is the head coach of the UC Davis women's soccer program. So Instagram is back with all kinds of cute food photographs and everything else, right? So that's back. And all the other entries, like, for example, this is Henry Ruggs Jr. of the Raiders, and Henry Ruggs III, excuse me, and other photograph, Trek casting, who would play what, Chris Pratt, all that stuff, okay? And everything. You get the idea. Snoop Dogg. You get the idea. You especially get the idea there. Wow. Okay. And Linda Perino. Wow. I have to give that a like. I think that's a memorial there. You get the idea. All right. That's Zoe Zaldana in Portugal. Nice. Okay. And then we have the Atlanta Hawks. Believe. Cloudy with a chance of. At the Rustic. Okay. Dancing with the Stars is about to come on. And we have Ms. Moore, last high school homecoming. Ms. Klaus Brown. And they're all back. Okay, we got it. You get it. You get it. You get it. And I get it. And they're all back, all right? But that doesn't explain what happened. So let's go back to Twitter and read about this. And we know that this story is not accurate because Facebook is not clearly all the way back, all right? This was put out by the Facebook community. It says, to the huge community of people and businesses around the world who depend on us, we're sorry. We've been working hard to restore access to our apps and services and are happy to report they are coming back online now. Thank you for bearing with us. And There are a number of reactions here. Breathing a sigh of relief. And then it's replying to Facebook the reasons. The malfunction was intentionally changing some features before Hogan's testimony. The modifications unintentionally caused this malfunction, and they only wanted to make the amendments before Hogan's testimony without causing any malfunction. Now that's interesting. Okay. And this person says, which is hilarious because this outage only bolsters the FTC's antitrust lawsuit. And if they did scrub anything, that could potentially be used against them in court, deleting and hiding evidence if Hogan's testimony leads to yet another lawsuit. And this person says, yes, but it remains possible. He says, you stated as if it was fact. He did. He says, I mean, it is possible because of the coincidence between Hogan's statements and the sudden malfunction. And that's what I get back to. This, he called it a malfunction. I thought it was a hack. And others said, well, no, it wasn't a hack. But here's the point, all right? These are all guesses. No one knows really what happened yet. No one's come out and told us, all right? It says, Facebook must compensate WhatsApp users $50,000 minimum. Okay. What the blank? Can't send your stickers for a few hours? Are you feeling left out, Reddit? Applying to Facebook, thinking that your data is safe after changing your Facebook password is like thinking you are rich after getting a loan. I still can't log in on my Instagram account because it's linked to Facebook. What should I do? Still can't log into Instagram? That's interesting. Twitter is better. So I wonder what Jack has to say about all this, because Jack was interested in buying the URL. So it's quite clear that the Facebook URL is not available. It's quite clear that it was bought up. All right. Even though Jack said how much. Domain record, domain available, Facebook is for sale. All right. And here's that was 6 hours later. And then Jack says, wow, this blew up. Here's a link to my SoundCloud, Off the Grid. Listen to the Off the Grid by Kanye West. Two, very funny. And then Johnny Ive about what he misses about Steve Jobs, which is Steve had such a deep understanding and reverence for the creative process. He understood creating should be afforded rare respect. So, all right, it's quite clear that we're out of this now. All right. And technology has black Twitter. Let's see. So where's black fake Twitter located again? I heard about it on Facebook. Interesting. And then this person says, black Twitter. We need to find Alana Perkins. Have you seen her? She's been missing. Know that? To all the new people logging back into black Twitter after years. Black Twitter, we logging into Black Planet. I'm sorry, I'm neglecting you for so many years, but I'm returning like the prodigal son. Okay, we've got all that too. But what we don't have is a simple explanation of what happened. Well, let's put together what we don't know. We don't know that this hack was not that. We don't know that the hack was actually not a hack. And I say that because, I say that because what would Facebook gain by telling us that their site was hacked? What would they gain by doing that? Facebook is a public company. To admit such a thing will cause a dramatic drop in its stock price, probably never to return. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost $7 billion. So what do they gain out of doing that? What do they gain if they discuss a malfunction? In fact, what does Facebook gain by telling anyone anything at all? Nothing. Nothing. Now, I have to admit, I thought that someone might have been scrubbing information related to the Facebook whistleblower, Miss Hoggins' comments by, arranging the shutdown of Facebook for a little bit. To me, I still think that's a possible action that happened. Her testimony is tomorrow, Tuesday. We're going to find out a lot more in the hours and days ahead. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. Now, I say all that. Excuse me, before I say that, let me explain the implications for all of this. If Oakland bloggers and media people and elected officials, all right, were to, if this were to continue, right, what would the implications have been? Many local elected officials use Facebook to communicate their messages. They think, in some cases, they think that Facebook is a kind of a workaround or go around media or bloggers like myself. Well, I hope you realize, like, for example, Councilmember Carol Fife and others, that you cannot use Facebook as considered a safe substitute for having your own website. And you can't use Facebook and consider it a safe substitute for getting your news someplace like Oakland News Now. It's not safe. What I mean by not safe is that it's vulnerable to attack. It's vulnerable to shutdown. And you don't know for how long. Okay? Because some people use Facebook for last minute communications to many about what they're doing. Guess what? Today, that wasn't possible. If you woke up in the morning and you thought, I'm going to broadcast something at 9 o'clock for an event at 5 o'clock in the Pacific Theater on California, you were screwed. You were not able to do that. Okay? You were simply not able to do that. It wasn't happening. So you should always have your own website and also multiple connections. You hear that? Multiple connections to different social media accounts to broadcast your message. If you don't have all of that, guess what? You're fooling yourself. You are not at all getting the message out. You're not going to be able to reach people in a timely fashion. You're going to think that all this is working and that you have a platform that is better than a media organization rather than working in concert with it like mine. And you're going to be a hostage to this kind of occurrence yet again. That's just a fact. You cannot escape that, okay? You cannot escape that. So what's the lesson here? Have your own platform. If you're a blogger like Davey D, who relied on Facebook to put his message out, hey, you got to wonder, is my message still there? Davey, I told you once, told you 1,000 times, my valuable friend worth $6 million, $10 million, have your own platform. You're losing out on a lot of money, man. So that's the lesson here, folks, for Oakland. Don't ever think that Facebook is your safe haven as an elected official or a media person or media organization. It's not. You need to have your own platform. Like, hey, Rich Lieberman has his own blog. Say what you will. You say it's old-fashioned, but tell you what, I bet you his site's still running, and it's on Google, on Blogger. All right, folks, see you later. And you know what to do. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark Oakland News Now.